Good afternoon, everybody. This is your boy Saxman, and this another episode of the Saxman Russaw Show. I'm your boy Saxman. How are you doing? It's a good day today. It's Tuesday, November the 26th, I want to say. Sun is out. Temperature is pretty well. It's very good temperature. Hate to bring this to you again, but I had another discussion with a young lady about single motherhood. I hate to bother you about this again. I want your opinion on this. We was having a discussion again about the responsibilities of a single parent, and she seemed to have a problem with what I'm saying. It's because she's part of that problem, and she don't want to accept the fact that she's part of it. What is this? Oh, Demetrius Pride sending me something. He's sending me something. Okay. We was having a discussion about the responsibility of a single parent, and I Googled some stats to her, and I read these stats to her, and this is from the New York Times. Let me read this to you. Now, I love my black women. I got nothing against black women, but my job is to bring awareness to my people and explain things to my people if they got a problem. Let me see if I can go into things. Well, anyway, trying to bring awareness to my people. I like for my people to be aware of what's going on. I'm gonna start off by saying Saxman don't mean no harm. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm just trying to bring awareness, get you to think, because our young people are really not thinking. They're just going along with the status quo, and it's being a problem. Going along just to get along, that's a problem. When we just go along just to get along, we're not helping the situation. I'm not going along just to get along. I'm trying to bring awareness to a growing problem. In single parenting, that's a problem in the black community. I'm not talking about the white community because I'm only interested in uplifting my people, because my people need the help the most. So when I have these discussions, I'm trying to uplift my people. So according to the New York Times, what she was saying is it's the man's fault too. It's the man's fault too. And I said, well, it should be an equal responsibility. They always want to put it off on the man, always off on the man. Well, when I said the growing rate of single parenting is steady growing, she wanted to deny it. So I Googled the New York Times where it says, of the world's population, about 140 million births that happens in 2016. About 15% or 21 million were born out of wedlock. Now, when you say out of wedlock, it means the kids were born without both parents married. Okay, so that's a growing thing in the black community. It seems like ever since the government got involved and started giving out handouts and telling single mamas that if you want this money, you can't have a man in the house. Or you can't have a man around if you want to get this money from me. So they bought into that bullshit, not knowing how it's going to harm our community more than help it. When you out to just get for you and just you only, and not think about the kids, because you got to stop thinking about the kids. If you get rid of the father because you want to check, then you are neglecting those kids and you are denying them a father in the house for growth, for protection, and for, especially if you got boys in the house, to be taught and raised by a man. Because in order to be a man, you have to be raised by a man. All right. You can grow up with a penis and hair around your penis and say, I'm a man, but your values and your goals determine that. So if you ain't got a man to teach you those things, female ain't gonna teach you that. You know, not today. Now, back in the old days when I was coming up, mothers knew that because they was raised with both parents. So they was taught those values in the 50s, 40s, and 60s, was taught that value. So it was easy for mothers like my mother to teach me values on how to be a man like my father did. But today, you know, there's no man there to teach those values, and a woman ain't there to learn those values. She's learning everything else other than the proper values on of being responsible, not laying down unprotected, picking the proper mate. You know, like I told my daughter, don't bring home no nigga with tattoos all over his face, all over his neck, and all over his body with his pants sagging. You do that, I'm gonna kick him out and I'm gonna disown you. I'm not gonna disown him, but I'll kick him out. But I was telling her that because she's more valuable than that to accept that type of relationship. But no one's teaching these young girls that. They just doing it just for the hell of it. So when I read the New York Times, and it said about 140 million in the U.S. is born out of wedlock, and the rise in women without wedding rings having babies, about 40% in the U.S., it creates alarms in the conservative circle. Now, I'm a conservative, all right? It creates alarm. It really does, because it makes us say, well, what the fuck going on? Why is it so much young girls out here having babies and just laying up with just niggas and just having babies, put guys on child support, sitting back, don't want to get out and do nothing for themselves, and don't want to get married? Well, you know, because a lot of people conflate the unwed and single motherhood. That's why, and that's what the New York Times said. They conflate. They pat him on the back. They say, there, it's okay, fuck him, you don't need him, I'll give you a check. And because of that, gives them the idea that it's okay, it's accepted. My mother, and I don't know about if any of y'all know the story, I've said this story before. When the state came to my mama's house in 68, 67, 68, I remember because I was little and I was on the couch. They came and told her before she got her job. My dad was in between jobs. He had got laid off, so he was struggling at the moment. And they came to the house, told my mother, we'll give you welfare, but he can't be here. In order for us to pay you, he can't be here. This is in the 60s. Told my mother that. And my mama looked at both of them. It was a white man and a white woman, and said, nah, I'm cool. I can't take the father of my kids out of his house just for a check from y'all. I'll just go get a job. Told him to get the fuck out. And my auntie, Ruby, had a job down on 55th. And my mom called and told her about what happened. And my aunt Ruby said, well, come work for us. Come work with us. There's a job opening. You know, you can come get this job. So my mom had got that job, and both my aunt and my mom both retired from that same job. They were down there long enough to retire. And that's a strong black woman. That's a very strong black woman. You women run around telling me, I'm a strong black woman. No, you're not, because if you're receiving any type of assistance from the state, you're not. If you got out there and got your motherfucking job and told the state, go some motherfucking where, then I'll say, yes, you are. But strong is just an adjective. It don't describe you. It's just saying I'm strong. That don't mean anything. But if you get out there and say, I can take care of my own, I can support my own, I don't need your help, then I got mad respect for you. Because you're not falling in that status quo of saying, I don't need a man, I'm gonna get this check. So when they conflate single motherhood, they're saying to single mothers, it's okay to do that. It's okay to have this baby without that nigga. You don't need him. Just go downtown and get on welfare, and they'll give you medical and give you all that shit. Well, then she don't need the man, because she was taught by the mama who hated. Their mama hated their daddy to the point where, hey Tammy, hey Sandra, How y'all doing? Glad y'all joined in. Single mamas teach their daughters and their fathers how to hate their daddies because they tell them all along, your daddy ain't shit. Your daddy's a deadbeat. Your daddy ain't this. And they grow up hearing this shit through their years, and they beat it in their mind that their daddy ain't shit. And they go on growing up thinking the same thing. Man ain't shit. I don't need a man. Fuck a man. That's what happens. My mama ain't never... When my mother and my father finally separated, but he was still in my life, my mama never talked bad about my father. Never talked bad about my father. At least not in front of me. She never told me that my dad was a deadbeat. Never used that word. All right. According to New York Times, because I asked it, what states has the most single mothers? And believe it or not, Washington, D.C. has 51%. Louisiana has 49%. Mississippi has 48%. New Mexico has 48%. Utah has 15%. Utah's small, of course. New Hampshire has 20%, another small state. In the U.S., 83% of single parents are mothers. Roll that around your head. 80% of single parents are mothers. Currently divorced or separated is 1.7%. Now, mind you, I said divorced or separated, which means they had gotten married at one point. And it's only 1.7%. Which means no one's trying to get fucking married. No one's trying to step up and say, we got a kid, now we got to get married. They're not doing that. They're not doing it. They're perpetuating this thing. They're pushing it. They're pushing a single knife. You don't need a man. That's why it's only 1.7%. And widows are 34%. That means they've been married and the person passed away, but at least they gave a marriage a chance, which is 34%. Single mothers never have been married. That's what the New York Times said. Single mothers has never been married. Not single parents, single mothers. Single parents means they have what they consider the percentage, the two been married. All right, so okay, Tammy Phillips said, hey, I'm good. Amen. That is, I never say to my girls, I take care of them. Heck, us and I don't know what you're saying. I wanted to find another half. Tammy, I know, because you and I talked a while back. You want to do the right thing. You want to find a father. You want to get married because you got kids to raise, and you like to have a man in your life. I agree. You're part of that 1.7%. All right, the 83% is the ones that just want that check. Okay, so when they sit there and say, I don't need you and your father ain't shit, they're creating this narrative to make these kids grow up to continue the cycle. They're not learning. They're continuing the cycle of, I don't like man, I hate man. That's why you got more females running around out here gay as fuck. Sorry, all right, sorry, working and trying. I text you. Okay. Think about it. And another thing. Why is it that it's so easy to call a man a deadbeat for not wanting to be there or pay child support? Y'all quick to call him a deadbeat, but you don't call a female a deadbeat when she give that child up for adoption and walk away. She doing the same thing that man is doing. Same exact thing. Walking away from the responsibility, and she gets to walk away free and clear to go have another child and do the same thing again and again and again and again. Also, what do you call a female that decides, I'm gonna have this baby by this guy, he don't want me no more, I'm gonna go abort it? She goes and she aborts that child. What do you call her? You call her a deadbeat? Nope. You call her a murderer? Nope. You pat her on the back, send her on her way, tell her go have another one, it's all good. This is an option. Come, you can abort if you don't want this child. Men don't have that option. What do you call a female that has the baby, decides she don't want the baby, and takes it to a church or the nearby police station, drop them off and walk away? You call her a deadbeat? You call her child abandonment? Do you charge her with that? Nope. But you do that to a man in a minute. See, this feminist bullshit is a fight towards men. Long as you got the man out of the house and away from the kids, the only other thing that you want the men to do, you want to put him in jail. Because the system needs men in jail so they can make that money. And you women falling for it. Y'all playing right in that motherfucking white man's hands. White, black man, whatever the fuck, who's running the thing. So why are the men gay as fuck? You know why? Because they're being raised by single mamas with no men around and ain't taught any male value period at all, Sandra. None. They're taught to hate men. Taught to love women, because you got a single boy raised around mama, auntie, grandmama, great-grandmama, in a house full of women, full of estrogen, no testosterone, and they grow up just like that. If they ain't got no, hey Tina, if they ain't got no men in the house to teach them male values, they grow up gay as fuck. That's your answer. They grow up gay the motherfucker. You see, I'm not gay. I had both my parents. I was always around my father. And if my father wasn't there, my uncles was there. So I had men always in my life to teach me male values. So that's the truth. Tina, on my way to appointment, okay, got you, baby. Think about it. Women can get away with aborting kids, dropping kids off, giving kids up for adoption, and they got no responsibility at all. None. A man have a baby by this chick because he wanted a one-night stand with her. She lied and said, oh, I'm on the pill. She really wasn't. Or I'm going to take the morning after pill. She really didn't. Stuck his ass with a baby that he didn't want. He didn't want her either. He just wanted to fuck. Now you forcing this man into fatherhood. He's young. He's 16, 18, whatever the fuck. How you going to make him a man and he's just a kid himself? Hey, Sax, he's right. Yep. Think about it. You forcing a kid to be a man because all they want to do is fuck. And you forcing him into doing something that he ain't prepared to do. And if he can't do it, he's a deadbeat. He's forced on child support. If he don't pay his driver's license suspended, he goes to jail. Female don't want the kid, kill him. Abort him. Nothing. Drop him off for adoption. Do she pay the adopted parents money? Nope. Do they send her a check? A statement saying you got to pay the adopted parents child support? Nope. Somebody else is supporting your responsibility, and you ain't got to pay it. The state pays it. Guess where the state gets the money from? Working class people. So I'm still paying for your one night stand or your whatever it is that you was doing. I'm paying for that shit. And on top of that, I'm paying for my kids. So I'm paying for your kids, I'm paying for my kids through child support, and I ain't even fucked nobody. I was very lucky. My oldest, he's now a father and a step. Okay. Yep. And then he became the best older brother. Yeah. Long as you got a man there that's going to teach that young man how to be a man. Because female, I'm telling you, females can't do it. Then teach that young boy how to be a fucking female. He was a male presence. Long as you got a male presence there, surrounded by all these fucking females with all this estrogen flying around his ass. He trying on your wigs and your weaves and he dancing and shit. You got your little girls twerking in videos and you saying, girl. You are creating the society that we don't want. And this woman that had the baby with me got a bunch of kids by different men. My mama had 4 kids by one man. 4 by one. Married him. This woman couldn't marry not one of them niggas. What was her problem? You can't keep blaming on a man because you keep laying down with losers. Stop it. Back away from the dick. Ain't that what they tell you? Back away from that dick. Cut this shit out. Be more selective in who you fucking with. Why you women can't do that? Be more selective. Sandra said, so his daddy didn't teach him safe sex, and now the girl forcing him what? Think about it. There's no man there to teach him shit. Remember, she put the man out to get the check. The mama ain't gonna teach him to practice safe sex. So that's the answer to your question. You said him. Remember, he ain't there. There's no man there to teach this little boy responsibility and values. So they females. And they surrounded by kids from different niggas. He's seeing that his brother is by another father, and his sister is by another fucking father, and so on and so on and so on. He's thinking that's a normal thing to be. Because his mama was irresponsible with the pussy. Totally irresponsible with it. You can defend it all you want. That's the problem with our society. Y'all give single motherhood a pass. Y'all allow this type of fuckery to go on, and you teaching them it's a good way to be. Don't worry about it. The state gonna take care of you. It's the man's fault. How's it the man's fault? Unless it's rape, you knew you was gonna lay down and fuck that nigga. Unless he raped you, you knew this nigga ain't had no job. This nigga ain't had shit. You knew this nigga wasn't about shit. But you still lay down with that nigga anyway. 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Had his baby. And now you got a handout from the state. So how do you explain that? Why you can't call that mama irresponsible? Especially for mothers who's responsible enough to say, I'm going to marry this man. I ain't going to have so many of them. I'm going to go get a job. Women like that should be pissed off at other women who got multiple kids by multiple men and getting a free check. And those other women are going out there going to work to take care of their kids. Those women should be pissed off. Not supporting them. No. Just like me. Making them aware of their mistakes. That's all I'm saying. You speaking on one individual. We talk about, I gave you stats on the whole country. You butthurt about one individual. I'm talking about stats on that's one of the main problems I got with black people. They can't chew gum and walk at the same time. Black people cannot chew gum and walk at the same time. Which means you can't understand what I'm saying because you're stuck on one subject. And that one subject is personal with you. I'm not being personal with you. I'm telling you how it is worldwide. I mean, not worldwide, countrywide. To our whole country, United States. I'd say to you, in the United States, it's 83% unwed mothers running around here, single mamas running around here. Ain't tried to marry one motherfucker. Now, what do you got to say about that? 83%. There's only 1.7% that actually got married that tried. And the reason why they single because they got divorced or they was widowed. So if you got married and you raised your kids and you went to work, Sandra, you went to work where my mama retired from, and you raised your kids with your father, with their father, you should be saying the same thing. Well, hell, if I can do it, why they can't do it? You should say, why can't them other bitches that's getting state money go out and do what I did to raise my kids? You should be right there with me saying the same thing. Those are deadbeat broads. They some deadbeat women that will get their kids up for adoption, abort their kids. You knew the nigga wasn't shit. You knew you didn't want that kid. You saw that nigga in the club, popping Cristal, spending hundreds of dollars, and you saw that nigga, you know, ooh, I'm gonna fuck that nigga because I know he got money. And then you go and you meet this nigga in the club, and you throw on this little outfit on, and you get him to come home and fuck you, unprotected. And you get pregnant And that nigga don't want you because he wasn't there to love you and marry you because you already got multiple kids from somebody else. He ain't trying to be the next motherfucking baby daddy. And he fought you go on about his business. Now you pissed. Now you butt hurt. Because now, all you can get now is money. Can't get him. And you go downtown taking the child support. That's stupid. Or you go as far as saying, well, he don't want me. I don't want this kid either. Fuck it. And go down there and abort the motherfucker. You abort the child. Or give him up for adoption and walk away scot-free. Can no women that's ever talked to me on this show ever can say, I understand that's fucked up? I haven't heard that from none of you proactive women. All y'all can say is, it's the man's fault, it's the man's fault. You were raised to believe that shit. You was beaten in the head by your mama, your single mama, to tell you men ain't shit. And you still today, at your age today, still finding reasons to support single mamahood like it's a good thing. That's a shame. And it's not a good thing. Because how come it was such a big thing to do back in my day to be married and to be raised by two parents? And now, 50 years later, no. Because the fucking Democrats made it easy for y'all to not need us, to not want us. The Democrats set that shit up. You know why? Because the Democrats want to see us behind motherfucking bars. They want to see us in jail than in the home with you raising our kids. It's an attack on males. I've said that before, and it's been proven. If you got 8 babies by 6 different niggas, you ain't married not one of them? That's true, Tammy. If you ain't married not one of them or made a tip to marry none of them, you just as guilty. You part of the 83%. That's a shame. And you go around and you want to be mad at men saying it's their fault. How is their fault? How come it can't be 50-50? You lay down with him and let him go up in you raw. Why you can't say, well, yeah, I made a mistake, I let him. No, unless he raped you, you let him lay down up in you and go up in you raw. So you hold part of that responsibility too. It ain't all on him. And you women should be ashamed of yourself for sitting there supporting that bullshit. Because you allowing the fuck shit to go on. What's up, Anthony? You allowing the fuck shit to go on. And want to find excuses to blame men when you lay down with the dumb motherfucker. You knew he wasn't shit. And you knew that you laid there and had his baby. Women got more options to get out of a fucking baby, to get out of the relationship than men do. Men don't have no options to get out. Women got 3 options: abortion, adoption, or just abandon. Just drop them off someplace and walk away. Women got 3 motherfucking options to not want to be a parent and not be held responsible. Men have none. We have no options, period. If you got her pregnant, you stuck. You stuck. Can't go nowhere. That's it, bro. You got to pay us back. We paying her. You got to pay us back. So she getting paid twice. She getting paid from the state, and she getting child support from you. And she get to sit there. Did y'all see the video? I'm going to find it, and I'm going to inbox to a lot of y'all. The single mama, there's a black chick, was laying in her bed, smoking a joint, with her newborn baby in her hand, doing arm raises with the baby, blowing reefer smoke in her face, and dropped the baby. Picked the baby up by the arm and yanked it up, picked the baby up and kept doing it again. You single mamas are awful. I'm not all of you. Not all of you. But the ones that's doing that fuck shit, y'all awful. You don't deserve to be a motherfucking mama if you're abusing your child. Did you see the video of the one chick that was on there talking about my baby ugly, and she was smacking the baby all on the back and shit, smacking the baby, saying my baby ugly. She look like her daddy. He look like his daddy. I hope he look better. He's an ugly baby. And she put that shit out for other people to see it, and thinking that's a good thing. My girl dad's still in both the girls' life. Good. Just because we didn't make it, don't mean that the girls don't have their father. Exactly. Like I said, you part of that 1.7%, Tammy. The ones that supporting that bullshit is part of that 83%. So think about that. You one of the ones that's trying to do right. The 83%, which trumps 1.7%, ain't trying to do shit right, but get that fucking check. And a lot of these women had these kids to punish the man because they don't like the man, they mad at the man. The man don't want to give them nothing. The man don't want to be with them no more. The man don't want to fuck her no more. So they had that baby just to punish him. Just to punish him. They didn't have that baby because they had a job and they knew they could take care of that baby. They just wanted to punish that man. And if I was the governor of Ohio, I would change that law. I would say before any of you women have kids, you got to first have a job. You got to be married to that man, and you got to be educated. So you can continue to go find work if you lose that one job. You have to have those three things. Not abort, not adopt, and not abandon. But to be married, job, and educated. Then you can have a job. Then you can have that child. If you can do those three things, then you can have a child. Because then you can afford to have that child. Then you have the ability to raise that child and support that child properly. You got both parents in the house. My family, Eric, Ross, Anthony Motley, that's on here right now, can tell you my whole family, we have all our fathers in our lives. I have all my uncles around me. My auntie just go out there and have all my cousins and they fathers wasn't there, my uncles wasn't there. My uncles was there to death. So don't give me that bullshit that, oh, it's the right thing to do, put a man out. But that's bullshit. They didn't need to get rid of my uncles to have a check. My uncles went to work. My aunties went to work. So that's bullshit. You 83% women that don't believe in marriage but believe in having this baby and get a check from the state, y'all get on my motherfucking nerve. That's the truth. It don't make no fucking sense. If my mama can do it and raise us with my father, why the hell y'all can't do it? Y'all got more options today than we did back in the 60s. Way more options. You get paid more, you got more education, you got more of everything. What's your excuse for not getting out there and getting a job to support your kids instead of going to the state? What's your excuse? You bunch of lazy motherfuckers? You're lazy. You wasn't gonna check, spend that money on weave and nails and liquor in the clubs, because that's all I see out there, in the club kicking it. I don't understand it. That don't make any damn sense at all. What's up, George? That don't make no sense. Single parenthood should not be rewarded or patted on the back, because it's not a good thing. You should be wanting to take care of your kids. I know a lot of men that worked hard to stay in their kids' lives, to work things out, to try to get along with the parent so they can get along and be in their kids' lives. I know a lot of men like that. I know a lot of them that do. I'm one of them. All right, I married my two wives and had my kids. I married them, and I'm still involved. So I don't need to hear this. You men, y'all at fault. Y'all just as wrong. Well, y'all a bunch of deadbeats. Well, I call women deadbeats because if you abort your child, you're a deadbeat. When you get your child up for adoption, you're a deadbeat. And when you abandon your child at some hospital or whatever and walk away, you're a deadbeat too. You just as a deadbeat as a man because you're walking away from your responsibility like that man did. You claiming that man ain't no good, you ain't no good either. And you're hearing it from me, from Saxman, I'm going to tell you that in your face. You just as big as a deadbeat as that man is. Because all you do is sit around and collect the motherfucking check. You just as big as a deadbeat. That man got to get out there and go to work to keep from going to jail and lose his driver's license. He got to pay you. You sit down home watching Days of Our Lives on motherfucking TV and beating your kid in the back and calling him ugly and doing push-ups with the baby and blowing marijuana smoke in the baby's face. You a damn deadbeat your damn self. Take responsibility yourself for what you're doing. And stop blaming the man for you laying down fucking unprotected and then keeping his baby to punish him. You need to stop that. I'm calling it the way it is. I'm tired of having this conversation with these women out here talking about men are at fault. Like I said, unless it was forcible rape, he took it from you and got you pregnant and walked away, yeah, it's his fault. He fucked up. But if you laid down with that dumb nigga doing it, he didn't have a job and no education, no nothing, he was living in his mama's basement and you knew he ain't had shit, then that's your fault. Simple as that. So, I'm going to end it on this. My lunch break is up. I got to get back to work. So this has been the Saxman Russaw Show. I'm here to tell you, don't let the shit get on your nerve. Yeah, George, I'm setting them straight. I'm going to set them straight because it don't make no sense to sit out here and keep blaming men for the mistakes that they're making. They're making these motherfucking mistakes. Laying up with no good niggas that they know ain't no motherfucking good. They know that nigga ain't no good. But you want to punish him, you want to keep him in your life. If that's the case, marry the nigga then. Make him marry you. Make him marry you. That's all you gotta do. Hey, Karen, I'm about to get off because my lunch break is up. My lunch break is up at 1:30. Why you come in so late, Karen? Well, you did this last time. Well, I might be on tomorrow because I know we're on vacation Thursday through Monday. So I won't be back on until Monday. I'll be out of town. I'll be out of town Thursday, Friday, and then a weekend. And then I'll be back Sunday night so I can come to work Monday. Love you all. Glad you came in. Tune in tomorrow or next week for another episode of the Saxman Russaw Show. Hope you enjoyed this show. I'll be talking to you later. Enjoy yourself and don't let the fuckery get to you. That's all I gotta say. This your boy Sax. I holla.